So these are our top 5 likes and dislikes about the job. We'll start with the likes first. So our first like would be
travel. You know, our first like about travel is travel. Like,
no, I literally already forgot what we were gonna say.
No, our first like is travel. Like traveling around and seeing the different places all over the United States. Things that you wouldn't only get to see just staying in one place. You know,
Yeah.
like the ocean.
Or like local things that
Are unique to the area.
yeah.
Like putting your name on a chocolate bar.
Okay. Number 2 is
Seeing friends.
seeing friends. Thank you. So we have a few friends that are kind of scattered all over the country. But yeah, because of this job, we have the opportunity to be relatively close. That we can actually make a day trip and go see people if we needed to.
No, it's been really freeing because we had some friends we hadn't seen in 5 years.
Yeah.
And we got to see them and reconnect again, and it was amazing. And it just felt like normal. And it just really makes the world smaller.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is freedom.
Number 3.
Freedom.
Freedom.
We have so much freedom with this job. You know, we get to travel all over, but our bosses are still in Indiana, so they trust us to take care and represent their company. And the freedom in that is just amazing. You know, we have freedom to visit the cool places we like. We have freedom to make decisions in our booth, what we think is going to be best for the company and for the customers. So that's been really, really awesome and really weird.
Yeah.
And, you know, we go back and ask questions, and it's like, is this okay? And they're like, well, yeah, what do you think? It's like, I don't know. I've never not had a boss right there.
Yeah, it's not to say that we've got a lot of experience being micromanaged,
No.
but it's
I've
also
had
nice to have a job knowing that you're not micromanaged.
Yeah.
Number 4 would be, what would it be?
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom.
We have been able to go homeless doing the traveling job, which saves us a lot of money and allows us to work on our finances so much more, to set financial goals and actually achieve them, because we're being more diligent with where our money's going. We don't have a place to put a whole lot of extra things, and we're not spending, you know, $600 to $900 a month on rent and gas and all of those good things that come with a house or apartment. So we really have been able to focus on financial goals, and that has been a wonderful thing for us, especially, I would say, at this point in our life. I mean, we've been striving for so long to be financially stable, so
Yeah.
it's been very encouraging.
And for all you guys who are now freaking out because we said $600 to $900 for saving in rent, we're from the Midwest, so. And number 5, well, I'm off the highway. And the 5th one is we get to travel together. So it's one thing to be able to travel and see the country and do all this fun stuff. It's a total different thing to be able to do it with your spouse and to be with them all the time and get to experience all this together. I would say that that's our last on the list, but probably our first favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because this job would just traveling would just be miserable if I got to do all this stuff all over the place all by myself. And then I get to call up and be like, yeah, you know, I'm going to do a baseball game.
And something we should mention is we know that the lifestyle we have right now is not something for everyone. Some people need a little bit more space from their spouse. I guess we accredit it, you know, we were long distance when we first got together, and we really focused on communication. And so obviously there's times when we need a little bit of space, but for the most part we travel very well together. And so that's such a thankful thing, because otherwise we'd be stuck at home. Not to say that it's bad to be stuck at home, but we love the adventure of travel.
Yeah, we kind of have like a wanderlust sometimes, so it would be bad for us to be stuck at home.
Yeah.
Now for our top 5 dislikes about traveling. Number 1. It is way more exhausting than you think. Like, I can't even describe, like, I've never experienced it before. Like, I've had jobs where it's like mandatory 60-hour work weeks in a factory and, you know, just things like that, where I'm just working all these crazy hours. I've had one job where, like, you know, I would get home at 10:30 at night, but I'd have to be up at 3 to go back to 3 a.m. to go back to work. And it, like, that's a type of exhausting that I've experienced. But to do this traveling thing, to deal with jet lag and then do the shows and like have your personality be on all day, it's it's very new. When we get back to wherever we call home, yeah, just nobody talk to me. I'm gonna sleep for 2 days straight.
This year's also been a lot more full than normal. This is our 33rd show that we just finished, and so we're feeling much more exhausted at this point in the year than we will at the beginning of the next year.
The number 2 dislike is all the relocating. Now we understand that that's part of the job, you know, that's just how it is.
Part of travel.
Yeah. But when we each have like these 50-pound suitcases and our backpacks and stuff, we have some weekends we're in town for 5 days and we have 3 hotels.
Yeah,
and that's just the nature of it sometimes. I mean, there's no getting around it.
We also pack a little heavier right now since we are homeless. We've kind of given ourselves a pass, which sometimes is a little bit rough because it is a lot that you're dragging around.
But it's just kind of one of those things where you just know every couple of days you're going to be lugging heavy crap around. I'm ready for a break from that part, just lugging everything around. And the third dislike is...
health goals are hard.
Oh, man.
When you're at a hotel, you don't know, are you going to have a refrigerator? Are you going to have a microwave? I don't know.
How are you going to shop?
So that's a little bit tricky. The other thing is that when you're in these areas, I don't know about you, but I love to try food that's local to that area. Something exciting and special. You know, I mentioned earlier, I love getting tacos in Texas. I love, well, I mean, we're getting chocolate in Pennsylvania.
On our way to Hershey right
Actually, hold on. When we are in Pennsylvania and the East Coast, I love getting this Lebanon bologna.
Where's the Lebanon?
No, it's not Lebanon. It's
Lebanon?
Lebanon. It's bologna that I'm not sure about saying right.
Bologna.
So it makes it hard to set health goals and stick to them, especially then when you are coupled with being tired. So you really don't want to exercise. You just want to lay in the bed and watch TV and eat.
Because you're so drained at the end of the day. You're like, you know what sounds good?
Sleep.
A little bit of Shark Tank and some food. Some hotels have fitness centers and some don't, but even the ones that do, sometimes they're not very nice, or it's just a treadmill and a big mirror. But we travel with resistance bands, and that's still sometimes like, it seems like it can feel like a chore just using those and getting everything set up with that. So when you're just drained at the end of the day and you feel like you got nothing to give, and then you're like, and I still have to work out, it's hard.
Oh, you know what number 4 is? I know what number 4 is.
Number 4.
Number 4. But anyways, when we're traveling in the van and we go to stop someplace, our stuff has to stay in the van. And I'm just kind of like funny about things. Like I use extra tape on things. I use extra glue. It makes me a little bit anxious to leave stuff in the van. But I'm kind of like that with, keeping stuff in our trunk too. So, you just try and be careful with things, and it just is the way it is.
Number 5.
Feeling unsettled.
Yeah,
when I'm on the road, I don't have a care in the world. I don't think about the fact that we're homeless. We're just from one place to the next. It's kind of a rhythm. But when we go home, when we stay like with a friend or with family, or we're home and we need to switch out our wardrobe, I feel super, super unsettled because Like, for example, this weekend, I told Ben, I said, we thought we were going to stay in Florida for winter. We're not, because our break is just a little shorter than what we thought. So that means that we're going to be in Indiana. It's going to be cold and snowy. We need winter coats. I don't know where our winter coats are. They're in the storage unit, but they have to be in the back of it. I mean, I have no idea. And there's no way we're going to go home and unpack that entire storage unit just to find 2 coats. So we had to buy 2 new coats. So, you know, there's just aspects to it that when you're kind of in your, like, home area that you normally would go home and you'd have your stuff, or you'd switch your wardrobe, or you'd have people over. Like, we don't have that, and so sometimes it feels a little bit unsettling and a little bit stressful. I think that went well. Look, Chocolate World.